Folks, what's your idea of the perfect bow under $1,000? Spent the last 2 months trying to determine that exact same thing. In Cabelas, I've been to Academy, Sportsman Warehouse, and some other box stores. I went to 3 bow shops. I looked at a bunch of bows, drew a bunch of bows, and shot several bows. 6 criteria that in what I wanted and what I was thinking of being the perfect bow, what I went by to choose one. This ain't gonna be your regular old YouTube video. A lot of videos on these subjects will be some guy saying, tunk, 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 shoot 2 or 3 rounds to a chronograph and say, find the link below. I'm gonna explain how I came to my conclusions. I'm gonna explain how you can get the bow. I'm gonna explain to you how you can get the bow without paying for it up front. And no, there's no big interest from having to borrow a bunch of money. If you can put up with my cracking voice, I'll let you guys in on the secret of what I bought. I've had sinus issues and laryngitis for the last week, so bear with me, folks. Comment and let me know if you think this is the right bow for under $1,000. Maybe you have a different idea. Let me know. Let's go in the shop and talk about it. Yeah, this is a video about the best bow value that I believe in 2023. I wanted to show you this. Upcoming, we're going to have the CVA Optima muzzleloader, 50 cal muzzleloader, and then my CVA Optima V2 muzzleloader. And we're going to discuss if there are any major differences between the two. Maybe you own the older one and are looking at getting the new one. Is there a big difference? Should you spend that extra money? If you're not subscribed, I suggest you subscribe now because there's a lot of good stuff coming up. Now back to the bow video. I want to thank y'all for being with me today. It's been a little while. I ordered this bow and it was supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, and it got jammed up in shipping and first one thing and then I found out that the UPS truck that was bringing it actually had a wreck and a lot of stuff on the truck was damaged, so my bow got sent back and they had to ship me another bow. But I want to go over with you why I think for the money that this is the best bow in 2023 under $1,000. But I want to show you how I came up with this, not just my opinion. Okay, I hope you guys can see this okay. I had 6 points for choosing a bow. And I originally started with a $500 target budget. And after looking for a couple of weeks, watching YouTube videos, checking reviews, going to stores, going to bow shops, I realized that might not be realistic. So I decided to raise that budget to $1,000. I came across another $500 expendable money I'll tell you about in a minute. And so the $500 budget went away. All right, the very first thing I wanted to look for was value. Now, value don't mean it was the cheapest bow, and it means that the bow that created the best value for the price, more bang for the buck, under $1,000. Number 2 was adjustability. The greatest range of adjustability to fit a wide range of shooters, draw length, draw weight, and such. A smooth draw cycle, which is number 3. When a smooth draw cycle, because you know as well as I do, if you're hunting and it's cold and you haven't been moving around a lot when you go to draw that bow, if you have a deep valley in the middle of your draw, you know, you get it halfway back, that makes things tough. So I wanted a smooth draw cycle, as smooth as possible. The number 4 thing was a solid back wall, and I wanted to let off. I wanted to try for 80% if possible. when you're shooting, when you're practicing, every time you draw that bow and you hit your anchor point, wherever your anchor point may be, if there's sponginess in that back wall, when you torque your body or whatnot in a tree stand, or even if you're on the ground, wherever you are, and your draw position changes a little bit and there's sponge there, is this your back wall? Is this your anchor point, or is this? It's tight here. I can pull it a little further, that kind of thing. So I want a solid back wall, and I was shooting for 80% let off. Number 5, I wanted the bow to be quiet. I want to practice with the quiver and everything on the bow, the arrows in the quiver, the whole 9 yards. I want it to be quiet. All right, practice with it the way you hunt with it. Number 5, I wanted ease of setup, being able to tune it very easily and easily maintain. And when I started off, I was like, man, I'd like to get a solo cam bow because they're so easy to tune and maintain. I justified the extra $500 on my budget because I've decided not to get back in my lease with my brother-in-law this year. So that freed up some more money, so I don't have to take anything out of my other funds. Now, I'm 100% a public land and permission hunter. Kind of what I wanted. Now, number 2 on that list was ease of adjustability, or range of adjustability. The draw weight and the draw length. And I did that for 2 reasons. A, I don't have a disability, but I have a bad shoulder. I had a wreck and I have a 3rd degree separation of the AC joint. I'll insert a little picture of that right here. All right, this is what it looks like in my left shoulder. And that's why I want to steer away from a 70-pound bow. I'm just thankful it wasn't in my right shoulder, or bow hunting would be out of the question. Now, I've had that problem with my shoulder, my left shoulder, since the 90s, the late 90s. I had a car accident and messed my shoulder up. It doesn't hamper me in day-to-day activities, but when I had a 70-pound bow, I was shooting a 30-inch draw length, and after about 10, 15, sometimes 20 rounds in practice, my left shoulder would start hurting like crazy. Now, since then, the whole diabetes thing came along. I've been losing some weight and going to the gym and getting in a little better shape, and my shoulders have become stronger. So in the process of looking for this bow and going to bow shops and drawing other bows, and I've shot 7 different bows, I have found that at least 60 pounds feels really good. Now, the bow I had before this was a Matthews Reason, and it was a 70-pound bow, the end. And it wasn't logical for me to hang on that bow, so I actually traded the bow. And now I'm getting back into it now that I feel like I can at least shoot 60 pounds. I'm probably going to take this bow because it's weight adjustability is between 55 and 70. I'm going to start at 55 and work my way back up to a comfortable level. It may be somewhere between 60 and 65 pounds. I'm waiting to see. But another good point is there are a lot of people out there, whether it be ladies, young people, people that may have a disability, whatnot, and they need a bow that is more adjustable. The draw length on this bow is pretty wide. The overall performance, you don't have to sacrifice a lot of performance if you drop down some draw weight and draw length. And that, in a nutshell, is pretty much why I chose this bow. All right, now I'm going to show you what the bow is. Don't fall off your chair. It's a Bear. This is the Bear Adapt. It's new for 2023. Bear got together with the guys that had the Hunting Public YouTube channel, and they wanted to create a bow with exactly what I was looking for. Adjustability, versatility, good speed. It's a quick bow. It's not a speed bow. This isn't something you're going to shoot 3D at 100 yards with, but for hunting purposes, I think it's going to be a fantastic bow. And they came up with this bow. While I was doing my research, I ran across a video with the Hunting Public guys, and they were announcing this bow. That's the only thing I've heard them say or do about this bow. So they're not like pushing this bow down your throat. But I do like to consume their content. I like to watch their stuff. And you'll see a lot of times I wear a hunting public hoodie or a do-it-yourself hunter hat. Jeremy and Daniel out in, I think they're in Alabama. Mississippi, excuse me. If I enjoy their content and they have some merch for sale, I try to get something to help support them, because I like to watch their stuff, and that's what you do. Well, that really didn't play a factor here. After I went and actually drew the bow and shot the bow, I shot the bow 14 arrows out of the bow, and I loved it. It's quiet, solid back wall, and ready to roll. Now I'm going to unbox this thing. I went on ahead and took the liberty to cut the damn flap open so I didn't have to stand around here like a monkey trying to kiss a football and undo this thing on camera. So here we go. Now, since I've been checking them out, I have seen these bows. I have not seen this bow yet, but they're really nice looking bows. Let's see what we got here. I'm glad I already opened this. Again, excuse the voice, folks. Oh, the quiver. That's another thing I want to talk about here. The quiver has this like rubberized coating on it. It's really strong. There's no flexibility to it. It feels like a really high quality piece. But anyway, we'll set that over to the side. And yeah, this is got your Allen wrench for your adjustments, a sticker. And these right here are the string stops that you'll install to help to create that solid back wall wherever your draw length is. And I think I'm bag hook. And owner's manual. And I like them stickers. Another story, another day. Make sure nothing else falls out of here. Oh yeah. Let that fall for the moment. And there she is. It's the Bear Adapt. And make sure I don't tell you incorrectly. The draw length is 23.5 inches to 31 inches. And the draw weight is 55 pounds to 70 pounds. Bear has totally redone their grips for this bow. And it's really comfortable. Let's see how this one feels. I have to take that up, but yeah, that thing feels good. It comes ready to hunt. You have your Trophy Ridge sights on here. They're fiber optic with light on it. And Trophy Ridge whisker biscuit. Now this is the newer style whisker biscuit. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not until I try it out. The one I shot in the bow shop actually had the old style, just regular round whisker biscuit on it. And I like a whisker biscuit because you don't have to worry about your arrow falling off of the wrist. Do a lot of walking through the woods hunting. And yeah, it's already got your, excuse me, your D-loop peep sight. Now I'm gonna take this thing to my bow shop and get them to set it up properly for me. But yeah, it's a really solid bow. And I'm not gonna be shooting it or pulling it back right this second because I don't know what the poundage is. And I haven't drawn a bow since then, and I don't want to screw my shoulder up. Like I say, I'm going to start off and we'll drop it down to 55 pounds and work my way up. If I got to get 2 pounds per week, whatever. And whenever I get to a comfortable level where I can stand out there and I can shoot at least 50 arrows at a time without feeling pain, that's where I'm going to leave it. To be honest with you, and again, this is Bear. I'm a big Fred Bear fan anyway. And I haven't owned a Bear since the late 80s. I had a Bear whitetail too. And you could shoot that thing at 30 yards, stand over the side and watch somebody shoot it, and it's like a rainbow. But yeah, I'm a big Fred Bear fan. I really like the throwback Fred Bear camo on the limbs. I thought that was pretty cool. And you'll see, if you look closely, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see the Hunting Public little logo on there. Doesn't bother me either way. I like those guys. And they're making like 5% off the sell each one of these, so they're not going to get rich. But yeah, they always try to promote things that are affordable and things that people on a tight budget can use, and teach you how to hunt on a tight budget, how to hunt public land. And they seem like a bunch of good old boys. But anyway, this is the bow I chose, the Fred Bear Way, established in 1939. And I think I'm gonna love this bow. It met all the criteria that I had for it. Now I'm gonna show you some stills of how I bought this bow. I was gonna buy this bow at a bow shop because I'd much rather support a mom and pop shop than to go to a big box store or the Jungle website or something. But I ended up going through Amazon. The reason I went through Amazon, I had a $25 coupon, and I found out something else when I got to Amazon that made this really easy buy. And the bow is $529, and I'll show you now how I bought it and how pretty much anybody can buy it. And no, I'm not talking about going in debt with a bunch of loans and having to pay back interest and all to get a bow. But I'll show you that now. And you'll probably hear my squeaky laryngitis voice even worse on that. And I'll go ahead and ask you, forgive me for that up front, but it is what it is. All right, folks, I pulled this up and I typed it in, as you can tell, up at the top. So I did not click on any link or anything to get here. These bows, if you already have your own sights, your rest and quiver, or maybe you want to buy that stuff separate because you want different stuff, the Bear bow is $429, which is a pretty good deal. I got the Ready to Hunt, the RTH version, is $529, and which is pretty good deal here. The view of the bow, what it looks like, so you can study it a little closer. If you want, you can pause the video or whatnot. And I'm going to go right into this. Here's all your specs. Excuse me, that's the Bear Legend. See, I went through a lot of different bows. This is the Bear Legend XR. And I looked at a couple of Hoyts. These Hoyts, to me, the back wall and the draw cycle felt just as good on the Bear Adapt as it did these expensive bows. I didn't plan to show you that. The Hoyt Torex, this was the bow that came in second place. If I hadn't bought the Bear, I was going to buy the Hoyt Torex. But you can see it's like $170 more expensive. But it still fell well under the budget that I had. Now you'll notice the weight down here, you get it in a 60 pound or a 70 pound. There's no adjustability on it. So that kind of blew it out the window. Now this is what I wanted to show you guys. If you go to Amazon and you find this bow, I don't know if everybody's Amazon shows the same thing or not, but this shows how you can finance it with a firm. And if you go with a firm, that sounds like a pretty good deal because it's only like $29 a month. But by the time you get done paying with a firm, this bow is $744.68. So if that's the way you want to go and you want to pay $29 a month and pay extra interest, you can do that. I chose not to. And here's where you can get it for $100 less if you already have all your stuff. Yeah, this is another one I looked at. It was the Bowtech Deploy, Diamond Bowtech Deploy. And it fit everything in the bill. And it was close to being tied with the Adapt. Except it was $270 more. Now, I want to show you what I did. I bought the bow for $529. I had a $25 coupon too, but I bought the bow for $529, and I was just going to pay the $529 and go on. Well, I got to looking down here, the Affirm, you're going to pay $772 for it by the time you get done with interest. But if you use Amazon payments, it was $88.33 a month for 6 months with 0 interest. So you see up here above the red writing, payment plans, $29.63 for 24 months. Add that up, that's $790-something. So I went with the $88 a month for 6 months, no interest. That's kind of a no-brainer. And I just put left my $529 in checking. But there are different ways you can buy on Amazon. I don't know if these things are available to everyone or they go by credit rating. I don't know. But you can pull the bow up and see what it says for you. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video to this one after I get this bow set up and get the arrows. I'm going to see if the guy at the bow shop, he probably won't have a problem with it, will let me film there. I'm going to tell you everything I do to this bow. I know I'm probably going to add a kisser button to it because I like to shoot a kisser button. And I'll probably change out the peep sight. I don't like the one-way peep sight with a surgical tube, and I like the 4-way peep sight. That way you don't have to worry about if your string is twisted or well, you don't have to worry about it with this unless your tubing breaks. And you know as well as I do, if you walk through the woods and tree limbs and stuff, you never know what's going to happen. So I just prefer a 4-way peep sight. But I'm going to come back and do another video with that in there at part 2. I decided to do that because a lot of my videos get way too long. And another reason is by then, maybe I'll be able to talk better. I really think this is going to be an awesome bow and probably the last one I ever buy. The Matthews, I had the Matthews Reason. I can say nothing bad about it whatsoever. It was a great bow. Just the adjustability and certain things about it just didn't work for me anymore. And I feel like this Bear Adapt can be a bow that quite possibly can work for a wide range of people. Now, you can get this bow too. I forgot to tell you guys a while ago. This is the 55 to 75 or 55 to 70 pound version. You can also get it in a 45 to 60 version. So I'm not a sexist or anything, but like ladies, a lot of ladies shoot 45, 50 pounds. I know one lady, that lady Tiffany, whatever, with that crush thing or whatever, I hear she shoots 55 pounds. And she's a pretty buff little gal. But yeah, I think the Bear Adapt is gonna be around for a while. And I would go ahead, if you're interested in it, I would go ahead and check the availability on it, because from what I hear and understand, they're selling like hotcakes. So again, I'll do a follow-up video to this. And I hope you got something out of this video besides listening to my squeaky voice. And maybe next time I'll be straightened out. But until the next video is probably going to be either my tree stand video or the muzzleloader comparison between the CVA Optima and the CVA Optima V2. I own both of them, so, you know, I'm going to review them for you, tell you what I think about them, and whether it's worth one's better than the other. But until next time, I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to smash that daggum like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're at 1,500 subscribers. Blows my mind. So leave a comment, and when you leave a comment, make sure you comment your shirt size. And I'll get you a shirt size out. I'll shoot you, I'll let you know, and you shoot me an email at huntingforhookers@gmail.com. That's hunting4hookers@gmail.com. And let me know what your shirt size is. And make sure you get commented below, because I'm going to keep giving these shirts away every 500 subscribers. You might be the next one that wins. But I appreciate y'all watching and putting up with my horrible voice. And until next time, I guess we'll see you later. And as always, peace and God bless.